Hey guys, Tower Climber here, and I'm bringing you another Tower God discussion video. And this video will actually be inspired by something that Haku of the Tubes did, and that is which princess would I want to see the most in the series, and which one I'm most excited to see. So yeah, overall, I think this video is pretty self-explanatory. I'll be talking about which princess I want to see most in the series, but to explain what princess I want to see most in the series, I'm going to have to explain a bit about my Tower God history and journey. So hopefully you guys like this video, and let's get right into it. My Tower God journey actually started by watching the anime first when it came out. I got to episode 3 I believe, and then I started watching Dr. Boneset's reaction to it, and I became so curious on the changes that I heard from him and all the things that the webtoon did differently and everything. I read the webtoon like a year before the anime actually came out, but the art kind of threw me off, and I was like, oh, you know what, I don't think this is for me, but you know, maybe I'll get into it later. But overall, I got interested in the hype behind Dr. Boneset's reaction and how excited he was for all these things to be animated finally. So I decided to give it a shot again afterwards, and in the end I ended up reading the first season in a week and got hooked with the world, story, and characters of this story. But just like many of you, the moment that I knew that this story was unlike many others was the moment that Rachel pushed Bomb. After this moment, I was fully on for the ride of Tower of God. I knew that next season started with a time skip, so I gave myself a week before reading again and thinking about what could possibly happen in the story next. In the beginning of season 2, we not only meet Bomb again as Viol after years, but we also see a lot of new faces, and my favorite one of the new cast was actually Arkraptor. This man just walked in like a badass and wanted beef with every single person there. With Hwoarang, with Bomb, with everyone, his fighting style and his personality seemed so cool to me, and I was hoping that he was not a one-time villain. And luckily, throughout the next chapters, he just kept sticking around and improving his stance in my eyes, with his relationship growing with all the team, and especially with Miseng and his protection of her. Of course, this was all nice, but it actually underlied a dark past about him that intrigued me even more. He used to have a daughter with a 10th grade family member, and they were both taken away from him and stolen by the family again. This made his character one of my favorites in the whole story, and the quest for him to see his child again was one that I was hoping to get expanded on and see more of. Sadly, after the workshop battle and a bit on the Hell Train, Arkraptor didn't really do much in the story, but still, I remember being so hyped seeing him after the Name Hunt Station arc, working with Wangnang to capture Kasano. But like how many of you who have read the story know, this happiness would only turn into despair thanks to the actions of Rachel and White killing Arkraptor and Prince. I remember this really messing me up at the time, and I was with Wangnang experiencing this pain. And a bit afterwards, this plot point didn't get dropped per se, but more pushed to the side to continue Bomb's story, which I thought was fine since he's the main character and Arkraptor was, at this point in the story, a side character among side characters. There were moments in my mind where I thought, what happened to Arkraptor's daughter's plotline? But it was always for a second at a time, until the cage arc began in Tower of God, where we met a third hooded figure with Apple and Michael. For the most part, I didn't really care about them, and I forgot they were there at some point of the story, because of all the other stuff happening in that arc. And then by the end of the arc, one of the final panels hit me like a train. That's right, like hundreds of chapters later, we see a hint of Arkraptor's daughter, and I was beyond hyped. I obviously knew we were not going to see them for a long time, but this panel alone gave me hope that SIU didn't forget about Arkraptor's story, and this was more backed up by White referring to Arkraptor and Prince in his fight against Bomb. I was curious, of course, but it was just a plot point I was looking forward to in the future of the story and not much else. I had no idea who she could be or what her role would be in the story other than being related to Arkraptor and being in Fug, which was by itself interesting. But then I remember one day I was going through YouTube just looking up videos, and then I stumbled across a video made by Dr. Bonehead named who is Arkraptor's daughter, which is a great video if you haven't checked it out. And the theory presented in the video was that Arkraptor's daughter was from the Arrye family. And I thought that made a lot of sense with her hair color being shown as white, and that alone was cool to think about because of all the possibilities of the Arrye family being more prominent to the story aside from just white. But then the theory goes even further into saying that she could be a Princess of Jahad, since the family did so much to even steal her from Arkraptor, so she should be super important to the family. The final point of the theory that sealed the deal for me, that we have actually heard of a regular Princess of Jahad from the Arrye family before, and that was during the name hunt station, that princess being Alrye Rose Jahad. After this, I reread the Kate arc to see any other moments of her, and the only main moment that she had was her first scene, where with ease she stopped Mad Shocker, and that was something that not only shocked Rak, but also Kun as well, a member of the 10 great families. And we kind of know through lore that the only people in the tower that are naturally above the 10 great family members, if they're not stronger in general, are the Princesses of Jahad. So with the theory, this made 100% sense to me. At this point along my read, I have almost 80% belief in this theory, and I want it to be true so much since it will be so cool, in my opinion, to see a princess of the Arrye family that is still climbing the tower. But not only that, one with emotional ties to the rest of the cast through being Arkraptor's daughter. Also, a princess with connections to FUG is super interesting to me, since it would be, in my opinion, the greatest taboo for a Princess of Jahad to make. And the only other thing that we fully know about Alrye Rose Jahad is that they have a rivalry with Hendelok Gladmary Jahad. So if this theory is real, then it could be a great way to actually expand the lore of the 10 great families that we have not seen yet, and introduce the other families into the story without it feeling too forced. So yeah, the princess I'm looking forward to meeting the most in this story is Alrye Rose Jahad, to hopefully continue the storyline of one of my favorite Tower of God characters, Han Arkraptor. So yeah, that's basically the whole video. I know this was a short one, but I really just wanted to get it out there because I really liked the video that Haku made, and I saw the video that Naya and someone else made. I forget their name off the top of my head, but I'll put it on screen. Basically, I really liked the video and I wanted to make my own version of it because I really love this theory by Dr. Bonehead, and I know that it wasn't made by him, but it was a video that I saw that made me think of this theory and make me even more excited to see this character in the future of the story. Honestly, this theory goes a long way for me to be excited because of so many different avenues that it could go. If this theory is not true, then I'm still excited to see Arkraptor's daughter in general, and I would technically be excited to see Alrye Rose Jahad anyway, because in that way we can still see Hendelok Gladmary Jahad in the story. So that still doesn't bring down my excitement, but if they were both the same character, this just makes my excitement all the better. So yeah, this is the whole video. Hope you guys liked it, and remember, I will always be here to tell you the truth, and if the truth is not fully spelled out for you, I will be here to give you my opinion on the truth. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.